My Year is a movie about a young aspiring writer, Joanna Rakoff, who moved to New York City to pursue her dream as a writer. Upon moving, she landed a job as an assistant in a well-known literary agency. The superior in the agency, Margaret, is a literary agent to many famous writers, including J.D. Salinger. In the office, the main task given to Joanna was to handle challenges when mails according to the agency's policy. There are many discarded after Joanna has spread them. However, the problem arose when Joanna started to be immersed in the story is told in the mail. She impulsively replies to some of the letters according to her own judgment while using Salinger's voice. Eventually, she had the chance. Just speak directly with cell phone, yet add voice. Do not let her patient die while working as an assistant. Hence, her patient began to rekindle. Margaret finally put her trials on Joanna after a while and let her handle a project. Joanna was offered for a better position right after he succeeded to sell her first book for the agency. However, she decided to leave the agency as if she wanted to continue pursuing her dream as a writer, just like what Mr. Salinger has said voice to her.
In this video excerpt, a few scenes related to workplace situation were chosen, including both positive and negative. The first scene is where Margaret, superior for Joanna, stereotyping people who used to work for her. Next, Joanna expressing her discontentment over her main task in the office using inappropriate words. She made an insensitive remark in front of her superior when the company lost one of their important clients. In addition, Hughes pointed out Joanna's mistakes, which was against the company's policy. Next scene, Margaret and Joanna finally had a proper discussion on why their client left the company. Last but not least, everyone celebrates Joanna's accomplishment of selling story for the company. Next, we move to the positive incidents, where the first incident choose is from the scene when Hughes pointed out Joanna's mistake, which was against the company's policies. Hughes acknowledged Joanna's feelings and effort when she replied the letter to Salinger's friend. He expressed that he used to feel the same when he read the letter too. He then proceeded to point out Joanna's mistakes in a polite way. From the scene, Hughes showcased consideration towards what Joanna feels while being firm over her mistake. The considerations shown by Hughes relate to the underlying hypothesis from psychological view. In the hypothesis, it said that the impulsivity during interpersonal communication can counter the after effects of negative emotion. And also it believed when this hypothesis occurs in workplace, the college will be able to accept the advice and review given without any ill feelings involved. Therefore, respect and manners should always be the priority when communicating with another person, even when we are pointing out mistakes and giving advice. The next critical incident is when Margaret sincerely wants to hear Joanna's opinion on why their client left the company. They finally had a proper discussion as Joanna enlightened Margaret with different point of view on this matter. Joanna enlightened Margaret with a writer's point of view instead of a peer view. There is a professional vertical communication between the superior, which is Margaret, and the employee Joanna. Joanna conveys a cooperative communication which may be a solution to their conflict. This shows that the communication is the key in building a collaborative workplace. Respect and be tolerant to each other while resolving conflicts and issues in the office is important. When this concept is applied to all workplaces, the employee will have the confidence to voice out their opinions and also a mutually beneficial relationship between the superior and employee. And we should enable a healthy workplace situation where everyone can articulate their thoughts, opinions, and also a citation without any discrimination. Another positive incident that we can observe from the movie is when Margaret let other employees know about Joanna's new achievement where she succeeded in selling a story. Everyone congratulate Joanna and encourage her to strive better for the future. From this scene, we can see that everyone in the company, be it the superior and the colleagues in the company, establish a supportive relationship towards one another. Congratulations and encouragement Joanna received is considered as a verbal type motivation to her. This belief motivation in various forms is highly effective in increasing employees' job satisfaction and performance. For instance, the employee will feel good upon the appraisal from the superior and colleagues, and they will feel motivated to improve their work performance. On the account, everyone in the company should express aspiration towards each other for their efforts and contribution done.
For the first negative critical incident, the scene happened on the early part of the movie, in which ways it was Joanna's first day as Margaret's assistant at the literary agency. During that time, Margaret, who was the employer, had reminded Joanna and criticized her previous assistant in a sarcasm way. Margaret had a stereotype and writers by mentioning writers make the worst assistant. Based on that, Margaret is a person with cold personalities and does not prefer to employ writer as her assistant. So, the act of criticizing in a sarcastic way shows unprofessional behavior. There will be less repetition and more assertion portrayed in a stereotype consistent behavior. In effect, the action of the superior will affect the employee's working performance, and the employee will feel disheartened to work with the stereotype and working environment. So, for the recommendation, the employer shall not criticizing and stereotyping the employees based on their background and interests. For the second incident, this happened when Joanna used inappropriate language to voice out her dissatisfaction towards her job in front of Margaret. Joanna confronted Margaret and stated that they need to stop giving nonsense replies to their clients' fans. Based on her action, Joanna seems like not enjoying her work and tried to confront her superior by explaining their company policy as nonsense in a vulgar way. This is a type of confrontational communication which tends to anger, create unnecessary conflict, and damage relationship at work. The actions will lead to unhealthy relationship between the employer and employees. The workers will be working in an environment that is full of negativity. Therefore, to solve this issue, the use of curse word shall not be practiced as a culture of professional working environment, and the act of confronting the superior shall be done in a professional manner. And the last negative incident was observed when Joanna had blurted out insensitive comment and inappropriate language when the company had just lost an important client. The client that had decided to leave the agency was the famous writer, Judy Blue. At the same time, Margaret felt quite angry as Joanna did not want to give clarification on her remark. As Joanna had already enough of Margaret's behavior, she accidentally voiced out her resentment as soon as she heard about a client that wanted to leave the company after having a conflict with Margaret. Based on the theory, the act of uttering insensitive comments was considered as unprofessional behavior. Besides that, Joanna does not have the ability of self-control. According to Patra 2020, self-control will allow a person to become more composed, understand others' emotions, and not act on an impulse. The effect of blurting out inconsiderate remarks will create greater problem, as insensitivity and dishonesty will cause conflicts, enrichment of others, and will create a tension due to dissatisfaction among the colleagues. Therefore, this issue can be solved when a person shall try to read the situation first before voicing out their opinions, and it is important to have self-control and aware emotions of others.
As a conclusion, I have found 4 points in the movie, where the first is a concern, where the kindness and empathy will help people to feel connected with the people around. And the second is tolerate, where the tolerate is a sign of respect and consideration for others. And the third is communicate, where to have a better relationship with everyone is better to communicate with each other. A good communication is the key towards progress and success. And the last but not least is attitude. A professional behavior and positivity will create a healthy working environment, and also this attitude is important in every workplace.